Hi, it's Ivan again. So continuing to part 2 of the video on how to estimate your HDB sale cash proceeds. This is the example we have gone through previously. And now I'll be walking you through on how to actually get the numbers for each item. First off, we start off with the sale price. You can get this actually from HDB website. HDB actually do compile some of the HDB resale flat prices up to the latest 1 year. So this is a screenshot of the page when you are there, and you can play around the data fields where it's actually relevant to you. So for example, I'll put in myself as a seller, and the flat type I'm interested in. You can actually check for 1 room all the way to 5 room and even executive, and also the HDB town that is more relevant to you. And you can also go to the street level if there are certain streets that you are already where your property is, or you are already quite keen on, even down to the block number level. You will be able to find data points up to the latest 12 months where the resale registration date field is. So after that, you just click I accept, and HDB will actually populate the data according to the parameters that you put in, which I will show you in the next slide. So you look at the left side of the slide first. I actually use for example, a 4-room at the Punggol Drive for the past 6 months, and what you see is actually 109 data points as of a recent date. Of course, this is a screenshot, so when you're actually at the website, you can use your cursor and actually push down the scroll bar. You can scroll through all the data that is relevant to you and look for the ones that you feel are comparable in terms of size or balance lease or level. So HDB provides a snapshot of quite a number of data already, but I do get feedback from clients where they say it's still not quite sufficient for them to make a informed decision. So this is where agents come in to value add. For agents, we actually do subscribe to quite a number of platforms, and we have up-to-date and timely data where you can see on the right side of the slide. So this is one of the examples of the platforms. The data we have actually is quite up-to-date and is quite dynamic. So the moment a buyer actually does his paperwork and exercises the option to purchase, this data will actually reflect on the agency data already. This is slightly different from the HDB data on the left, because HDB, they only log in the record when the resale application is being processed successfully. So I repeat, where it differs is the agency data. The moment the option to purchase is exercised, the data is already locked in. Whereas HDB, they take a more conservative approach. Only when the resale application is approved and actually successfully processed, it will be only reflected on their website. So where the difference is, an option could be exercised on, let's say, November, but the resale application only is processed in December. So there could be some lag time involved, and this is where timely data helps, because usually when you are selling a property, you want to know the most recent transactions. And in a very dynamic market now, of course the most recent data will be the most relevant on how you can plan for your property sale. So besides that, what agents can evaluate also is we do have we do have info on certain transactions where the valuation is made known. So as you can see on the right, for example, the first sale transaction, we do have some valuation figures for us to roughly estimate a comparable size, comparable level, comparable block. Roughly what is the valuation we are looking at. So it not only helps seller to estimate, even if you are a buyer, if you work with a reliable and professional agent who has access to all these, who is a paid subscriber to all these platforms, they will be able to help you to analyze what kind of price to offer or what kind of price to actually plan with, and taking into account the unique condition and the market sentiment then. So this is where engaging an agent actually can value add to your plan as well. So you will get quite a number of data points, and this will help you to kickstart your planning process, which is where you can put in a figure for your line item A. Yep, so I move on to the next slide where it's actually about line item B. It is where the outstanding home loan, we will have to find out that. So I will be focusing on HDB loan, because for bank loan it's quite straightforward. You can just log into your iBanking account. Usually there will be a facility where it reflects the latest outstanding home loan principal. So you can use that as the rough estimate for calculation purposes. But for HDB loan, coming back here, it's a slightly more a process that involves more steps. So for example, when you go to the HDB page, firstly what we have to do is of course SingPass log into my HDB page, where you see the green arrow on the top right. So assume we have logged in, we go to the next slide. After you have done your SingPass login, this is a screenshot of roughly the page you will see. And on the left column, under my HDB page, under the section where my flat is, you will see a drop down and you click on purchase flat. So purchase flat meaning the flat that you bought, and you can assess the outstanding balance of your HDB loan on the financial info tab in the middle of the top row. So you can assess your outstanding balance of the HDB loan there. So to digress a bit, when you want to sell, you also need some details of let's say your floor area and your date of purchase, because these are details you will need. This will be helpful to help you to understand when your MOP period is met, and also roughly the size, which will help you to understand your potential sale price to target at, or when the buyer asks as well. So coming back to our topic, so after you click the outstanding balance on the HDB loan under financial info, we go to the next slide. This is what you will see when you click on that. Okay, those red color tabs are blanked out because it's info from another owner. I blanked it out. But what is key here is under the gray area, my account balance, under outstanding balance, that will be the amount you need to obtain. That is the outstanding HDB loan, which you will need to use when you do your calculation. Of course, there are some other payments that the owner may have, like late payment charges, etc, etc. But usually most of the owners I meet at the time of sale, there won't be any such figures. But what I want to share is, if there is some late payment charges, we also have to clear them when we do the sale, and the HDB officer will do the necessary deduction. So we move on to the next slide. So we have covered the line item A and B. Now we'll go to line item C, which is the CPF refund. This is the amount which is the CPF utilized plus accrued interest, which the owner has used since day one. So when you go to the CPF website, you will see the My CPF